Hi guys, for part 2 of factorizing quadratics, we're going to look into expressions where the a term for the x squared coefficient is greater than 1. For example, in this case, you have a question where the a coefficient for the x squared term is 2, and we're going to look at how you factorize this into this two brackets. So let's start the lesson. So as I said previously, when you have a general formula of quadratic expression as ax squared bx plus c, a is your coefficient for the x squared term, b is the coefficient for the x term, and c is the constant. So for this example here at the bottom, 5 is the coefficient for the x squared term, 2 is the coefficient for the x term, and 3 is the constant. So let's try to factorize this question here. 2x squared plus 11x plus 12. So in this case, you can see the x squared term has a coefficient greater than 1. So in this case, it is 2. So what we want to do, we want to factorize these and putting them into these two brackets. There are a couple of different ways to factorize this question. The method I like to use is highlighted here on the left-hand side of the slide. So one of the first things I do is multiply the coefficient of the x squared term with the constant term. So here you can see 2 times 12 to give you 24. Second step is we try to find factor pairs of 24. And this factor pair needs to add to give you 11, which is a coefficient for the x squared x term here. So let's try that first. So we got the factor pairs for 24 are 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, and 4 times 6. If you add them together, so 124 will give you 25, 12 plus 2 will give you 14, 8 plus 3 will give you 11, 4 plus 6 will give you 10. And if you look at the answer, the one that adds to give you 11 is this one. So this is the factor pair we are going to use. So 3 times 8 multiplies to give you 24. 3 plus 8 gives you 11. So this is a factor pair we're going to use. So if you look at step 3, what you can see is we need to rewrite the expression replacing the 11x with the new factor pair. So let's do that now. So we got 2x squared plus, for 11x we're going to write down 8x and 3x, and then for the constant we're going to write down plus 12 because that remained the same. So the only difference is for the 11x we replaced it with this 8x and 3x. You probably notice I put the 8x rather than the 3x first. The reason is I know 8 and 2 can factorize. If I were to put 3 here, these will not factorize, and I'll come back to this later in a few minutes. So you can see I put the original expression 2x squared plus 11x plus 12, and underneath I've written the new expression following finding the factor pairs. So for the 11x we have replaced it with 8x plus 3x. Now what we need to do next is try to factorize each of the sections. So we could factorize this section here and this section here, and let's try to do this. So if we were to factorize 2x squared plus 8x, this will become 2x x, because 2x times x gives you 2x squared, and 2x times 4 gives you 8x. So this will become 2x open bracket x plus 4 for this side. If you want to factorize the right hand side, we could take 3 out from both of these, so it will be 3x plus 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 4 is 12. So we just factorize each of the sides. So we could see for this we factorized it with this, and for this we factorized it by this. What you can see for both of them, you have x plus 4 and x plus 4 in common. So what you need to then do is rewrite this and add the 2x plus 3 and put them into one bracket. So here you got 2x plus 3, we got into one bracket, and because x plus 4 and x plus 4 are the same, we could put it into another bracket. And so you have factorized the question. So answer is 2x plus 3, x plus 4. So this is how you do these type of questions. So the main thing was I put the 8 at the beginning here rather than 3, because if 3 was in this case here, what would happen is you can't factorize 2x squared plus 3x. This is why I put 8x here first. And so this allowed this factorization to happen. 2x squared plus 8x factorized to 2x, x plus 4. 3x plus 12 factorized to 3x plus 4. And what you can see, the bracket in this row are the same, x plus 4 and x plus 4. And this is the reason why we could write these down, because these are 2x, x plus 4, and 3x plus 4. You could add 2x plus 3 into one bracket, and then you have your separate x plus 4. So let's try to answer this question here. 5x squared minus 13x minus 6. So one of the first things you need to do is multiply the coefficient of the x squared term with the constant term. So that will give you 5 times minus 6, which will give you minus 30. So we need to find the different factor pairs. I'm just going to highlight a few here just to speed up the lesson. So you got factor multiply to give you minus 30 and add to give you minus 13, which is the coefficient for the x term here. All right. So one of the ones we could have had would have been minus 1 times 30. We could have had minus 2 times 15. Minus 3 times 10, minus 5 times 6. And you could also have the other pairs, which are 1 times minus 30, 2 times minus 15, 3 times minus 10, and 5 times minus 6. You could check by adding all of these together which one gives you minus 13. Again, to cut a long story short, the one that works is 2 times minus 15. If you add these together, so you could see minus 15 plus 2, that gives you minus 13. So that works. So these are the two factor pairs we are going to use. So now let's rewrite the expression again. So we got 5x squared minus 15. Again, I'm putting 15 first because I know that will factorize with 5. Minus 15 x plus 2x and then minus 6. So now what we need to do is factorize these paired together. So if you factorize the first bit, it is going to equal to 5x x minus 5x times x gives you 5x squared. 5x minus 3 gives you minus 15x, plus here we're going to take 2 out, x, 2 times x gives you 2x, and 2 times minus 3 gives you minus 6. So we factorize those. Again, we can see this and this are similar, and we could see this and this needs to be added together. So if you do that, it'll be 5x plus 2 x minus 3. So the answer is 5x x plus 2. And then what you can do, so here you could answer 5x plus 2 x minus 3, and then you could check the answer is correct by expanding the bracket. So you could work backwards. If you were to do that, for example, with this question, it would have been 5x plus 2 x plus 3. So remember, you multiplied this one by this one by this one, and then this one by this one, and this one by this one. So that would have given you 5x squared plus, if you're doing the top one, 15x. Oh, wrong number. And then plus 2x minus 3 times 2 will give you minus 6. And then if you add that together, 5x squared minus 15x plus 2x is minus 13x minus 6. And you could see that is the same as what we have above on the top left hand side. So this is correct. And it's a good practice to actually go back and check. All right, so that is the lesson. Thank you very much. If you like the video, remember to like and subscribe.